Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about something a little more serious and personal to me, and some experiences like I went through with depersonalization that I haven't shared, and I was kind of hesitant to share, but I realized I don't need to be hesitant. But before I begin, I just want to just ask, out of respect for me and my viewers, please, as you watch this video, there may be some things that you don't completely agree on. Um, but please just keep the negative comments to yourself. The depersonalization sufferers don't need that type of negative feedback or discouragement. I'm not judging anybody. This is just my personal story and personal experience, and I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way. And you may find something that you can relate to, even if it doesn't have to necessarily be spiritual. Okay, so depersonalization. I remember reading somewhere that depersonalization basically can be a result of just repressed emotions that you never processed completely during the moment. And so when something tragic happened, whether that be child abuse, some traumatic event, someone dying, bad drug experience, panic attack, you dissociated yourself from that intense emotion so that you wouldn't have to experience it at the time, because your brain basically thought there's no possible way I can process this, there's no possible way I can deal with this. And so it kind of, or at least right now, so you dissociate yourself, and your brain just wants you to deal with it at a later time when it feels like that you're capable of dealing with it. Well, with that being said, I read this, and this was about a month and a half ago, and I didn't like mention this in my first video because, for the fact of, I just didn't want to give like wrong advice. But now, like realizing it, like I really think that's truly the best advice I've read, and I don't know, it might not work for everybody, but it worked for me. But I have a wonderful and beautiful girlfriend that when I read that, I completely let every single bad emotion, every single thing I've ever experienced, every single thing ever, just talking to her. I think I cried and bawled my eyes out and just let everything out of me for like 4 or 5 hours one day. And I just needed her there to listen. Um, I didn't really need her like to talk back to me and comfort me. I just needed somebody to listen. I just needed to get it all out. And the cool thing is, though, I truly feel like that's the hunch that I needed to get me completely recovered, because it's like I dealt with all those emotions, and it's just like the depersonalization just slowly started fading. And then in the last steps of recovery, like I mentioned in my first video, I used some cognitive behavioral techniques to make it go away. But one thing, I completely credit literally everything, every single thing that, in every single way that I got over depersonalization, completely to God. God, seriously, I couldn't have done it without trusting in God. And you know how I just mentioned about crying out? Well, you too. If you don't have somebody like that, you too have some. You truly do have somebody. You just don't realize it. You can cry out that same way to God. You can give Him everything. You can. And I'm about to share my personal story, and it's going to be kind of, I may tear up, I may stop, I'm going to try not to, but it's just something very personal to me that has happened within me since going through depersonalization. So before I begin, I'd just like to read Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Well, about 2.5 months ago, my depersonalization was at the lowest point. I can't believe it was like only that little bit ago, but I was insanely depressed, having suicidal thoughts. Just completely could not function. Was staying in the house every day, literally doing nothing. I couldn't be alone. I was afraid to be alone, like terrified. Had terrible like codependency. It was rough. During this time, I remember just trying to pray. I couldn't. I remember thinking in my head, I don't even know if you're real, God. I don't even know if you really are here. And I started completely doubting God's existence. I started completely questioning why God would put somebody through something so bad. And it was just kind of bad because I've been a Christian. I say I've been a Christian. I've believed in God, and my parents taught me the whole God thing, and I grew up Baptist, and high school I went to church, but I never prayed, never read the Bible. Kind of just was forced to go to church, so I went. Whenever I was older, kind of just went to church just because something I did in my whole life. This past year in college, though, everything just kind of changed. I got into some things that I shouldn't have gotten into. I hurt a lot of people. Got into just some bad situations. I'm not going to go into detail on those, but ended up putting me kind of alone second semester, and I was alone a lot of the time, and I got really upset and lonely and empty, and just started questioning, like, really, what is my purpose? Why am I even here? I don't even matter. All this stuff could be symptoms of depression. I don't know. I didn't think I was depressed, and I thought I was just lonely, because I could count probably on one hand how many times I ate lunch with somebody. But I did hang out with people on the weekend, and I did have a wonderful and beautiful girlfriend that I went and visited at her college every now and then. And so that was pretty much my only way of like hanging out with people truly. I had other friends here, but like most of the time my friends would hang out with their group friends they made, and then I ended up being there and just not being able to talk to anybody, and just got really kind of awkward. And I don't have social anxiety, and I'm very like social butterfly, but for some reason like just the people I was around, like they just, I don't know, like it's nothing they did, it's just I suddenly felt awkward. It was weird. Well, after experiencing that year, I think that kind of led up to depersonalization, after a bad panic attack. Um, but like I said, I was at my darkest times, like 2.5 months ago. And I was just giving you that background just to see kind of how it was before all this. Well, I remember one day feeling so hopeless. I just was needing something, and so I went to church like I had been, still being going to church. Um, Most of the time I just sit there blankly, like blank stare on my face, not even being able to pay attention. Something told me that day to just be like, Brandon, really try this. And I just started singing, and I don't necessarily remember what the message was about, but I started singing, and I remember the message truly touched me and hit like home base with me, and I just remember bawling and crying out to God, uh, similar to the way that I did with my girlfriend. But this time it was way more intense and way more just a very spiritual experience. And through all this, like, I just had some crazy urges, like, to help people all of a sudden. It was weird. And I truly felt like that was God's, like, way of calling me to help people. And I suddenly found this new, like, sense of purpose, and it was just awesome. Well, my depersonalization wasn't over at that point, but that day sure was a whole lot better, and I had hope after that. And I continued trusting in God, and I started praying every day. And my life just completely turned around. I It's just crazy. I went from being a very hypocritical Christian, completely just not doing good things, and now I have no desire to be that person anymore. And that experience that I had, I just wish I could go into detail, but I really just don't want to start crying. Maybe another video, but depending, like, just on if the majority of my followers, my viewers want to hear it, just make a request below. But I don't know, like, God will never put you through something that's too hard for you to get through. All He does, I truly believe that God puts you through things like depression, anxiety, depersonalization, for the purpose of you humbling you down completely and allowing you to appreciate life so much more on so many other levels. Whether you go through this spiritually or not, I promise you, you will come out of this completely with a new viewpoint of life. You're not going to be the same person. I'm sorry. Like, if that's what you're searching for, you're not going to recover. And that's something that I've learned, and it's just something you have to accept. I'm not the same person at all, and I enjoy life so much more. I have learned to love people so much more. I have a sense of purpose. I want to help people. Um, just I have a relationship with God. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. I live for Him now. And that's truly what got me through it. I could have not gotten through this without God. No way. No way. God showed me something. And this is the day that I got cured. And this is why I made this video. If you pray to God and you ask Him to show you, He will show you. But the thing is, when you don't pray, He's still showing you. You just don't pick up on it because you're not paying attention. But if you ask Him, you'll pay attention, and you can see how He's showing you. It may be 2 or 3 years from now. It may be tomorrow. It may be an hour later. It may be a week from now. Who knows? God answers every single prayer, whether you know it or not. It can be a no or a yes, but He does answer every single prayer. Whenever I fully recovered, for the first time, I did it completely like I did it through God and stuff, and I was praying every day, and I even posted a video about obsessing about it and all this stuff and doing things. Like, they were great tips, and they really do work, because I'm proof. But I actually had a minor relapse, that I haven't talked about, but it was pretty bad, and I was scared. I was like, here I am making YouTube videos helping people because I felt like God was calling me to that, and then I have a relapse. I almost felt guilty. It's kind of funny because it's something I can't really control. I mean, I can, but in a way, but something that just kind of happened, kind of like you get sick. And I noticed whenever I got it again, I was not praying as much. It's kind of like whenever I got better, I was just, okay, God, I don't need you anymore. And then God is, I guess, was just trying to reinforce it to me. But yeah, it kind of hit pretty hard again. But luckily, it only lasted about 2 days. Well, the second day that it went away, I was time for church again, and it was in the morning. And I was taking a shower. I just started crying in the shower, and I was just like, God, like, I don't even know who I am. I have no idea what my purpose is. I have no idea. Just give me a sense of purpose. Give me an identity. I feel so lost, and it's just really empty feeling. And well, I went to church that morning, and I should say that before this, I had that urge to like help people, and felt like God was calling me to something. Well, I get to church, and no lie, we have a guest speaker, and he's speaking on identity and purpose. Right when I heard that, I just started like cheering up, and I was trying to fight so hard not to cry in church, and I didn't, but it was hard. And big bold letters for the underneath the identity and purpose topic was missionaries. I never even thought about becoming a missionary. I don't know. I felt like God's leading me in that direction though, and that was just like a slap in the face. That was crazy. Um, but definitely God was talking to me, and I don't know whether that means go on missionaries or whether that means help people through YouTube videos explaining faith, or starting something on YouTube videos, or just helping people through email internationally or something. I don't know. I just know that God's called me to help people, and that's what I want to do. And I don't know. I know I've rambled a lot, and I know this wasn't really structured. I probably should have made a structure to this video before I said it. But I just wanted to share kind of my personal experience with God, and I can go into even more detail if y'all like I said, if y'all want to request a video for that. Um, I plan on making an update video soon. Um, just some more tips to do. Won't necessarily be spiritual. So just keep watching, and I hope that I can help at least one of you watching this video. Um, you know, it's never too late. God is always there. You're the one running. When you come to Him, there's nothing but good things. It may not seem that way, but everything happens for a reason. You may have worse times after you truly trust God, but just realize that He is constantly trying to show you something, speak to you, help you grow. Um, God is a truly loving God, and I truly believe that if I hadn't trusted Him, that I'd still be going through this, and I wouldn't have the opportunity to help people. Um, I love you all, I really do, and you all are going to get out of this. Y'all are going to be so much better people when you come out of this. Y'all can do it. Before I end this video, I just wanted to end it with something that just really cool happened to me, and it's no lie, it's serious. This is, I'm not trying to just like convert anybody or anything like that. Just remember, this is my personal story. So just thought it was cool. I call it a God thing. Well, when I relapsed, um, I was actually on my way to get a boat. My family was getting a boat for the summer. Thought that was pretty cool. And so I was bored in the car, had nothing to do. Listened to a Christian song, and I wish I remember the song. It's a really good song. But anyway, something told me to just say, is God really curing this, or is this just all in my head? Like, is God really helping me recover? Like, am I doing this? And am I doing the whole uh, psychological, like, repressed emotions thing to God, when really I'm just like releasing my emotions and having to do to God, who may be an imaginary figure. That would have been my depersonalization person talking. Um, Obviously, like, I know now that God is completely real. Well, I was in the car and something told me, just said, Brandon, you want to truly find out, just look up stories of how maybe God cured other people's depersonalization. Something told me to look up God cured depersonalization. I get on Google, like, no lie, I get on Google and I type in God and then the letter C, U, and you know how Google has the related searches? The first search was God cured depersonalization. I didn't even click on it. I was just I was like astonished, and so I was like, maybe it's because I've been researching so much about depersonalization that it did that. So like I deleted my history, and I did it again on my phone and said the same thing. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just because it's my phone, and my phone knows I've been looking at that for so long, so um, so maybe it's not working. And so I was like, hey mom, um, will you look this up? And she looked up God see you, and she knows about my depersonalization. She like freaked out, and it said the same thing. And then I was like, okay, no way, this is weird. And so I was like, I texted my girlfriend. I was like, hey, look up God see you in depersonalization. And she just texted back like, whoa, and all these exclamation points, and it said the same thing. And I don't even get on either of their phones. And then it was weird, and so that was like awesome. That's nothing like that's ever happened to me. And then it was like 3 or 4 days from that, I was just like curious. I was like, I wonder if it's still doing it. I looked up God see you, and the first one was like, God, like, curse me, or like something, and then God cured depersonalization wasn't even on there. But I just thought I'd leave you with that little note, and you know, God is always there. He's always with you, whether you believe it or not. I mean, it's just the truth. Again, out of respect, please keep negative comments to yourself, or opinions, or even opinions that really just go against with what I say. On videos that are specifically towards spirituality, feel free to comment that stuff, because I'm willing to help anybody in every aspect of life. Again, I'm not judging anybody, I promise. No way. But when I post like a spirituality video, feel free to do that. On this video, I just please ask you not to, just for the sake of mainly my viewers. Some people this might be the encouragement that they need, and they don't need those negative comments. But God bless you all, and thank you so much for watching my videos and listening. I really hope I could make it through to somebody, even though my words are all scrambled and I just kind of over talk and stuff. So, alright, y'all will get better. I gotta end my video with that every single time because it is true. Alright, see you.